And hello, April. Nice to see you again.
Hi, Stephen.
I once was invited to join a yoga class, and I thought, right, okay. My partner invited me. This was about 15 years ago. A local health club, and I went into the room, and I was outnumbered by ladies, 20 to 1. So I only ever went to one yoga class. So there you are. That's my yoga story. Um, and let's just find the agenda and say welcome to the show. And of course, the first question is whether anybody finds us or not. I mean, we're syndicated everywhere, as we do with our shows now. And right, we are live. We are live. So hello to Corinda. Thank you for acknowledging that we're live. To everybody who is joining us, and April and I want to say a big thank you. And we can start officially now. We've got people in the audience.
So Stephen, tell everybody how long and how much time we invested in preparing for this show today.
You want to know my secrets? No, right. Okay. In preparing for this show today, it went like this: that we decided 3 weeks ago that we were going to do a show together. And it had this Friday. We decided on the time, and then the day before the show, I suddenly decided we'd no agenda. So we got together and in Messenger chatted, and then that's where the agenda came from. So the day before. I mean, if we didn't know each other and it was a guest who'd never been on the show before, then the approach is totally different. And you say, right, okay, I want 3 questions from you, and that's how we're going to start the show. And we've got to settle people in. And you say hello to Roy. It's good to see you, Roy. Do you know him, by the way?
I think I might have seen him somewhere. But he looks vaguely familiar, but I wouldn't know unless I actually heard his voice.
Right. So, hello to Cheryl. Hello to Catherine. Thanks for joining us live today. If you're not watching on Be Live in 5, I'm going to say this, April, because I always forget. At the top of the post is a link to actually find us, and if you hit that link, then April and I will be able to see your comments and a smile from Roy, which gets the show off to a good start. Now, we're going to actually sort of go through several things, but the sort of premise of the show is, why do you follow the people that you do on social media? And that's your question, isn't it?
Yes. And so I'm going to start by asking you that question. I'm going to ask first, Stephen, who do you follow on social media? Are there some people that you watch more closely than others? Because I know I mentioned this in our show last night, you look at lots of different shows going on because of all that you have your hands in.
Sure. I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate because the live video haven't putting that together. I actually have to go there several times a day to check up on the shows and just sort of get sidetracked into watching a couple of them every day. So basically, my approach on people and following people is that, providing that the person I find to be genuine, then I'll follow them. I mean, I'm an open networker. There's 2 types of networks: open, random, and supportive, ORS, or closed, selective, and controlling. And that theory was put about by a chap called Thomas Power about 12 years ago, when there was a British site called Academy. And I'm open to networking with everyone, and only if something goes wrong would I unfollow somebody. So, but at the moment I'm sat on 4,996 contacts on Facebook, which means that I can't follow anybody. So my answer is, at the moment I am very selective because I can't follow many people.
Yeah. Who stands out for you though on social media? Like, and doesn't even have to be anybody in the Be Live community. I mean, like, if there was somebody that you follow on social media that you could meet today, who would it be?
I'd like to meet RJ and Brigetti.
How far is Brigetti from you? Like that's
Brigetti is in South Africa in Cape Town, and that would be a 6-hour flight.
Okay. That's not too bad.
No, it's doable. It's doable.
Yeah.
I'll try and persuade Brigetti to actually come over to the UK. We could, go either way. And RJ invited me over to a seminar that's taking place next year. So I have to see if I can arrange that. Because
where is RJ?
RJ is Central Time. So
okay.
Yeah. There was a photo last week when RJ, Erin Strayer, Kim Bultzma, and Jason Franco all met up, and that was a brilliant photo. That's what networking's all about.
Yeah.
And RJ told the story of how it happened. Kim, RJ, and Erin were all together in the same hotel because they were actually appearing on stage. And then they got this photograph from Jason. And the photograph from Jason was of the street outside the hotel. Yeah? And then they got another photograph from Jason, which was of the foyer of the hotel. And then they got another photograph, which was of the bar. And then finally, they got a photograph of the three of them. And RJ said, or Erin said, "You're here, aren't you?" And he said, "Yes." So he flew in specially to meet up with them. So I thought that was brilliant.
Yes, and I know Jeff has been talking about, Jeff Adams, about doing several meetups regionally. There's something coming up mid-October, I think, in San Jose with Daniel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we're trying to... Did I say trying? We are going to do, eventually, I'm sure, regional meetups, and that will be fun to get people together who have never met offline. And I wonder, though, like how different it really is offline versus online. Do you think the people are... That'd be interesting. Are the personas that you see online going to be the same offline?
If we're in a text-only environment, I think there could be some surprises. As we're all live on video, it's a bit... Well, we can't busk it on video. We've got to be us. So you'd actually meet the person who was on video. They might be shyer. That's a possibility. But they wouldn't be any louder than they are on video. And I think it will work quite well because you've got to know each other on video first, which is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put the question to you now.
Oh, no, you're not supposed to do that. We discussed that.
Okay. Right, okay. Your host today, then, as we got distracted and sidetracked there, are obviously Roga and Stephen Healey. And we're happy to be with you today. And it's once every 6 months we manage to get our schedules together and come together and broadcast.
Yes.
Right. Now, this is definitely one that I can say to you. What is Body Language 2.0 and going beyond the net friending way?
Ooh, that's a big question. I wonder where you got that question from.
I think, well, a friend said this is a question you should ask.
Yes. So this is something that we talk about a lot on our net friending show. And the reason why this is near and dear to not only my heart, but Roy's heart is because, gosh darn it, we are just so good at reading other people's body language. And in the offline world, you can find a lot of experts who talk about body language. And most times they're talking about people in their hand movements and which direction they're looking, which direction their feet are facing when they're talking to you, or they turned away, all this, actual movement of the body. But then I don't really hear all that many people talking about body language in terms of social media and live streaming, because this is still very new. I mean, when did live streaming actually become
a thing?
popular as it is now, right? It was like last January or like that it really took off. So there's a one-liner for this, Stephen. It's called Claim All Unclaimed Territory. So we're doing it with Body Language 2.0 and beyond because it's very important to pay attention to how people show up on social media, especially if you are going to be doing business with them in any way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. So don't like look at how, if I'm folding my arms or my eyes are looking off here or there, because that may not tell you much. And stop it, Roy, you're making all kinds of noise on my computer. Can you hear the dings going off on my computer?
Yeah, I can. There's a back chat going on somewhere.
No, he's sending. So we do a lot of documenting. So he's like doing image grabs right now, and all, yeah, and then he sends them to our thing. But right. So body language, y'all know what that is. But the 2.0 part, I didn't do my thing. You guys missed out on that. Like,
go on. All right. Okay.
The 2.0.
That's because we co-hosts on this show, and I started the show. Whereas if you've been starting, okay, but we're good. We're good anyway. Carry on.
The 2.0 part is the online part because live streaming is the next version of TV, and we call it TV 2.0. And so it only made sense to do body language 2.0. And then the beyond part is all of the things that you observe from your favorite TV 2.0 talk show host and how they show up in like how they're engaging or not with their live studio audience. So right now there may be 7 people watching us who feel neglected. I don't know. But like if somebody were to be commenting right now and we were not paying attention to their comments, that would be the beyond part of the body language, because we're not doing anything physically that would give them any impression of us one way or another, but it's how we're treating them. How are we acknowledging them? And that also applies in the text, because I know you're really good at going back, me not so much, on replay and commenting back to people who have commented after your live stream ended. And are you the type of host after your live stream ends that you do go back and acknowledge those people? And when you do, are you keeping the conversation going with them? Are you getting to know them? Or is it really all just kind of for show?
Interesting. I just want to catch up with a couple of comments, just a bit interactive and stuff. Roy is saying the beyond part is more about reading their character than their reputation. Mm-hmm. Okay. And Cheryl is confirming that she does feel fine and she's not neglected. And that's good. That's good. If you've got any questions, because I want to come back to the net friending part of it. Okay. You don't get off that easy. Because I know you've exported it to Australia, and I'll come on to that in a minute. The net friending thing, I think.
Oh, yes.
So if we just sort of go over what net friending is and why that approach differs from, any other approach. Why it's the best approach. And you right now? I'm sort of, while you're thinking, you good? Yep, we're good.
We're good.
All right, all yours.
The whole thingamabobber. It's net friending, not networking, because net friending is the softer side of networking. So it's really all about friendship first, businessship second. And what we're doing with our show is getting to know the person and not their product or service. We don't ask people, what do you do? And I hear that so much in live streaming when 2 new people come together. So what do you do for a living? Or what what business are you promoting? And there's so many people, like you were talking before we went live about Joe Shepherd, that he's very nicheified in what he's doing. Rugby, like I still am not quite sure what his show is about because I haven't had an opportunity yet to look into all of that. But that's a great example of why would April go support Joe in a show that he's doing if I have no connection to rugby. And maybe that's not the greatest example, because
I think the point about it is that there's a commonality. And the commonality is that we're actually on live video and we're trying to get a message across irrespective of the topic. The thing about it, though, is that you actually learn about other people's interests. So you have the opportunity. You could have asked him a rugby question yesterday and got an answer, but you'd have to, but he was there. He was only there for one purpose. He was there to share his story about how he has built an audience for going live and how he's involved 42 other people. Think of that, 42 other people in a private group who mastermind what's going to happen in the next 9 months. He's got a calendar until next June. So yeah, you're right. He was sharing without fear of reward.
Yeah, that's what we do on our show. It's just getting to know people and who they are, and like Roy said, their character, not their reputation. Because let's be honest, we're in a community where it's we all know of each other. We may not have, like, for instance, Owen Video, I've had communication with him in text, in private messenger, but I've never had a voice-to-voice conversation with him. So I can almost kind of say, like, I know of him. Like, we don't have a direct, like, keeping in touch type of relationship. And there's other people, I may go to their live shows, but I've never actually had an intimate conversation on a personal level. And I think that is so important in our community because we all have different audiences, and this is where the brand championing part comes into. Look how I did that. That was so nice.
That was clever.
There's opportunity in getting to know a person's character before you know what business they're involved in, because your audience may benefit from whatever product or service they have. But until you know that person's character, you're not going to refer them to somebody else.
That's a key word, referrals.
Is
that tied into brand championing, which you've already mentioned?
Yeah, but it's not in an icky way. Like, I can't. There was a bunch of people that I talked about during our show last night that weren't present. Talked about you. We talked about you a lot. We talked about Owen and Mari and Jorge Narvaez, people that are in the community, but they weren't at the show. And then we tag them so that they know we were talking in front of their back. Because I think that allows people to feel good because they know they're making an impact. And if somebody comes to mind for you when you're having a conversation, why not let them know that you were talking about them and that they are appreciated?
Totally agree.
You do that.
Right. Okay. Which brings us on nicely, because you've already mentioned it, to, go past that one and come to this one.
Hi, Gospel.
And say hello to Gospel.
I don't want her to blab me incorrectly and think I'm ignoring her.
We never ignore anybody. I just want to go to a point that Roy made. I wonder if many people actually pay attention to the synergy, energy, and chemistry between you and the new person you're meeting in text or video.
Ooh. y'all, because there's like, I don't know, it's fluctuating. Right now there's 6 of you. We won't count Roy because he can't answer this question. Okay, yes, you can. I'll let you. Hi, Chuck. What do you all think of the chemistry between myself and Steven? Like, how does that sit with you? Because I'm blunt like that. I'm just gonna ask. Like, we're fun, right?
Of course we are. I think go so far as to say we enjoy each other's company and actually appearing live together, and respect each other for everything that is done behind the scenes that people know nothing of. And we've had quite a journey since Be Live has started. And you and I and Adair, give a shout out to Adair, who's not with us, carried the load for quite a long time.
She's sleeping right now.
She is. And Cheryl and Gospel are saying hello, which is good. And Gospel is saying hello to Corinda. I mean, that's the thing. It's an ever increasing circle of friends, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. And most of the people that we knew 12 months ago are still here today. You could mention the odd people who've gone on to something new because real life exists outside live video. But the majority of people stayed together. Yeah. I mean, we've been helping each other since forever.
And since really. Day one. Yeah,
that's true. And that's the way it works best, when you actually do put yourself out there and you help people. And right, okay, from Roy again. Oh, you haven't. Stephen will forget. I can read. I'm struggling to read this. That's my eyesight rather than what's actually said. Stephen will forget what I say. Stephen will forget what I did, but Stephen will never forget how I made him feel.
Yeah.
Maya Angelou, and that's paraphrased by me. Right. Right. You asked a direct question earlier, a very direct question, which was open to all sorts of things. But thankfully, Cheryl has said, "I think you're very comfortable with each other. The flow of energy is very easy."
Yeah.
Yeah. And considering we're thousands of miles apart, it's amazing. Thank you, Bilal.
Yes. And you know, that she said that just gave me a thought about how many shows I see out there of people that are doing it by themselves. And they may be really great at hosting a show all by themselves, but it's so much more fun when you have another person, right?
Oh, it's 10 times more fun.
Yes.
It's first of all, that you only have to speak for half the time because there's 2 of you. That's the first major benefit, because you can take a break every now and then. Mm-hmm. And the other thing is that you can bounce off each other. Whereas if it's just you've got to stick to some sort of script if you don't want to run out of words. So yeah, I totally agree. Having more than one person on screen is wonderful. And if anybody wants to join April and I later,
yes, please.
Rescue me.
No. But even 2 is great, but 3 people are even better, because it just makes the conversation even that much more dynamic. But the other thing is that I think when you have another person with you, when you host a show, it also allows your personality to come out more, because like, are you likely to laugh if it's just you by yourself? Well, maybe if it's me, I don't know. I'm crazy like that.
Oh, that's strange. My apologies. I've just posted this. I do apologize. I thought I'd actually copied the link. I'm going to try again. That won't make any sense at all.
No.
I best explain myself. This is the link to join us. This is live video. Things are going to go wrong, and you just got to work your way around them. So coming up in a minute, that's the link to join April and I on camera. Click that link and you can come and join us and chat. This, unfortunately, this was supposed to be the link, but wasn't. But on the Be Live in 5 page, I want you to check out a show. It's with Dev Murray as he sits down with keynote speaker Christine Casham to discuss her upcoming presentation at the Customer Service Revolution. Revolution in October. I enjoyed watching that show because, as you said earlier, I watched a lot of shows, and I shared it earlier, and it was still in my Control C.
So I don't know who David Murray is. Is it Dave Murray?
Yeah.
And so there's another great example. What could you tell your audience about Dave Murray if maybe they don't know what the topic really is about and you're sharing it on a page on your wall? What could you tell your audience about Dave Murray, the person, who he is, what his character is, that would entice them to come watch the show?
I don't know Dave Murray. I know I watched him on live video. I know I found the show interesting. I know that Christine Cashin is a well-respected speaker and presenter, and that's why I did it. I don't give chapter and verse when I share something. I just say, I'm effectively saying I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how effective, because this kind of goes hand in hand with what y'all were talking about yesterday about views and reach and all that. How effective is it when people just share stuff? Because a lot of hosts say, please share this, share this, share this. And you just hit the share button and it's now on your wall and you've not added any context to it. What is the likelihood somebody will go and watch that show?
Less than it would be if I gave a glowing recommendation. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
Just to catch up a moment, Charles saying, I do laugh when I'm on the show myself. I really feel like I'm in a conversation with the audience. Oh, and I love to laugh. Right. Okay. We enjoy doing shows on our own, but we've always saying it can be fun when you get together, like Cheryl and I are going to do next week. So I'm looking forward to that.
And Cheryl, I completely understand that because I could do a whole show by myself and laugh my butt off too.
Right. Okay. And Roy is suggesting he joins in via voice with April. If I don't mind, I don't mind. I'm good.
Roy, does that mean you want to come in via a peer or probably, right? Is that what you're saying? Here, I have magic, y'all. I use Voice Meter for this. So I guess that's what, there he is. Hi, Roy.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Let me put the 11-second delay on mute.
Pause, yeah.
Okay, so now I just have one voice in my head. Hello, Stephen.
Hello.
And hello, April. And hello,
Hi.
everyone. So yeah, this is a great topic. Why do I follow people? Because I want to befriend them. I want to see if they have people currency that is valuable for me to tap into, but not as a getter, not as a taker, but first providing value for them so that they go, oh, who's that Roy guy? Wow, I felt something from him. And one, it's either icky and I'm going to run for the hills, or two, hey, that made some sense. I never heard it put that way before. Maybe I ought to take a second look. So for me, finding people to follow is not, like April says, a friend collector. There's so many people that collect friends, or in the early days of Twitter, people were called social snobs if you didn't follow them back. And I'm like, wait a second. How does it make me a snob when you are following me and you have no connection with me? You want me to do what with that? So hey, it's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody that knows Andy, our friend Andy, this is true story. This morning, it said so-and-so, can't even remember his name, wants to connect with you on Messenger. And it was a hand wave. You know how Facebook has the wave. So I accepted it because I saw he was friends with Andy. And I assume he's probably, maybe, I hope, a good person. And that I waved back because I responded in kind. And that was it. That was the end of it. What am I supposed to do with a hand wave, y'all? Stephen? You got anything?
Well, if Facebook held more search information, so you can actually search for all accountants or all bricklayers, then to have a bricklayer or accountant in your contact set might be a good idea. Also, what I'm saying is, if Facebook was searchable, which it isn't.
You know, I think that Roy guy has a solution for that. Oh,
That was a cue, I think.
Yeah, that was your cue.
Well, I do hear that Facebook, through Social Media Examiner and what they keep doing, and put their pulse on what's next, that Facebook is going to give you a little text area to include text when you put forth your friend request to somebody that either you have other friends in common, or they've never seen you before, they've never interacted with you, you've never liked any of their stuff, so that you can let them know something. The thing is, even though they have that text box, I don't think people know what to put in there.
Right.
I don't think people know how to reach out to other people, because it sounds too icky to say, I want to be your friend, I want you to connect with me so that I can sell to you. And I've heard that if I give you like 8 touches, or 12 touches, or 17 touches, depending on which article you're reading today, then you'll buy from me. So is that true? Yes or no?
Oh, that reminds me. I almost forgot. How could I forget? Carrie Breedlove.
Oh my goodness, yes. Stephen, I do the bell ring thing, right? So I'm going to do the bell ring on the Be Live in 5 with Carrie.
I was in Owen's Be Live Weekly show now 11 days ago. And there was somebody in the comments, because I was in the comments, she was in the comments. She made a comment that I think something related to that she's a faith-based counselor. And that caught my eye. So I took the initiative and went to her profile and just started vetting her, just finding out a little bit from her. And this is the blabbing that I do, just seeing how she shows up on social media. What is she into? What is she posting about? And I started looking at her live shows and watching her replays and commenting, but not just any old comment. I go deep. I don't just say great show or loved your lipstick color. I always am intentional about commenting with the intent of providing value either to that person or their audience. And just over a couple of days of doing that back and forth commenting, she followed me. I followed her first, then she followed me. And within 25 minutes of some more conversation in her live show on replay, she sent me a friend request because she saw something of overlap, of commonality between us that she wanted to explore. And so did I. And within 10 days, we had done audio, texting, recorded video, live video inside of Facebook. We invited her on our show as a guest. It was like full speed ahead to get to know this person and to see quickly how we can help each other in what we're collectively doing. And she sells beauty products. And I bought some, and look, it doesn't come off. See? So I bought a product from a person I've known for 11 days. And never once did she say to me directly, April, do you want to buy my product? And that's what it's all about with what we're doing with net friending. It's just getting to know people first. And if you trust the words that are coming out of their mouth and you're finding what they're putting out on social media as valuable and you're building a relationship, then if it's a product that you need or somebody else needs it, it's going to be a no-brainer to either buy from them or refer them to somebody else. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Look. My lipstick doesn't come off. I love this.
And to just quickly add to what April just said, there's a lot of people out there that teach that content is king, and they just leave it out there, just hanging. Content is king. They don't say content is king of SEO, content is king of blank. And so I have to disagree with people who say content is king, because I say the content provider is king. And here's why, guys. Number one, I can't have any content. Excuse me. I can't have a relationship with your content, Stephen. So if you keep sending me content, Stephen, and you want to get on my radar, what?
No, I'm laughing because people just tuning in are going to be like, yeah, Stephen, stop sending him content.
and that's the problem with social media, is that a lot of people don't know who to listen to. So April and I are doing our blabbing of people so that we can tell people, hey, listen to this person. They know what they're talking about. Maybe this person not so much if you ask us, but we're not going to tell you who not to listen to. We're just going to tell you who to listen to. And so if all that Stephen wants to do is throw content in front of me, then yeah, I get that. That's part of social media. But he's never going to have that connection with me to where I can actually say, you know what, whatever Stephen is doing and you're into it, connect with him.
Yeah.
And if my word means anything, if my reputation, character means anything to people, they will take that. They call that trusted agents. They call that, people will buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And if I can transfer my likability, knowability, and trustability to someone else, that's a heck of a lot easier for Stephen to get known for what it is that he's doing online than him to just continually throw out content. Because I cannot have a relationship with Stephen's content. Okay, maybe I can, but that would just be weird. But here's what I know for sure. Stephen's content, your content, cannot have a relationship with me. So the only way that you can really help that other person is to build a connection. And not everybody you meet are you going to connect with, and not everybody that wants to meet you are you going to connect with. So you have to set your filters really high so that you don't waste people in your stream, in your friend connection, because then it's nothing more than just a fire hose, and yeah, you don't get anything. So keep it tight. Dunbar's number is 150, and April's well below that. So I just wanted to point that out. Thanks, guys. I'm going to jump off now. Toodles, everyone.
Bye.
You were saying about how you get a break right when you have a co-host. I get lots of breaks when Roy's co-host.
I can see why. So going to catch up a little bit and say hello to Jason. Now you said it a little moments ago. And to Carrie, nice of you to join us. And Chuck is saying, is my business the client? In my business, client is number one. Their property or problem is secondary. Know the client and their needs, and you can solve the problem tied to their real estate. And Carrie is saying, you don't need to have a relationship with a picture or a product or a graphic. You build a relationship with personal and live video is a great way to do that. And I agree. It is. We are very lucky because we can use live video to get to know people. And we've met many people over the time that we've been involved in live video. It's been a situation where teams have been created, like the team that works on Belivers. I said earlier, that's you, myself, and Adair. And we can second guess each other because we know each other so well, and we know how to help and support each other, as well as helping in the Belivers group. And that's something that just came about naturally. So, which leads me on neatly, having mentioned Adair, to net friending in Australia, because that's net friending live, isn't it? In the real world. Offline.
Yep. They do, in Australia, they do net friending at, I want to say they have like a Rotary Club, and they're all meeting, and they're putting friendship first. That is the net friending way, and they have adopted that, her and Theoni, and people love it and embrace it. Now, I don't know Adair and Theoni, because they're doing it offline. It's a little bit different, but I don't know that they have implemented a lot of what we do. They've just kind of taken that concept of friendship first, businessship second, and run with it.
No, my apologies.
Oh no. The other thing is, because you did put this also in the notes, a great tool to share other people, streamable.com. It's free. It's easy to use. And you literally take a link, copy a URL, paste it into Streamable, and then you can do up to 10 minutes to record a soundbite. And you just use the little sliders to slide it up to the soundbite part that you want. And voila, you can brand champion another human being and get your audience to know who they are.
Brilliant. And you used it to great effect yesterday. You use it every day, don't you, really?
Yes.
To actually highlight things.
Yeah, Roy uses it way much more than I do, but last night we did on our show, we had Lori Adams and Jeff. Look at that, I put her before him. Lori Adams and Jeff Adams joined our show in the live studio audience in text. And 6 months ago, I was a guest on Lori's very first show called Living. And I recorded the back end when I was a guest. And she didn't know I was recording it. And then I told her after the fact. And I said, do you mind if we use this on our show? Because when she saw me coming in as a guest, she wasn't thinking I was going to be there, I guess, as early as I was. And she got so excited that that's a moment. If she knew I was recording that, it probably wouldn't have been the way that it was.
Spontaneous.
Yeah. And now, we played it now again 6 months later, and she saw it last night, and we just it was funny. It was fun to watch. And just to know that somebody is highlighting you and moments in your life and then sharing it with the world, there's just nothing like that.
Totally. Yeah, it was good. I think I make use of that to actually take clips from shows. You can do it from other people's shows as well. It doesn't have to be your own show.
No, you could. Yeah, no, you could take anybody's URL. You could do it from YouTube, any other platform. Sometimes it'll throw an error at you if there's something weird about some privacy restrictions or closed groups, and you'd have to upload it and all that. But for the most part, I haven't had any issues with Facebook and YouTube links. But it's not as crisp. The picture could stand to be a little crisper, but
we wait for a high definition video. Yeah. We wait and we wait. One day, I keep pestering Sophia, but it's no good. He's not going to tell us. Right. Okay. Now, creating conversations is the topic that I brought up, so I'll speak briefly about it first. This is the way that I break through and actually start a conversation and get to know somebody. It's a very simple technique. After the show, if I've not heard of you before, then if you've commented on the show, you'll get a very friendly message from me, and that starts a conversation. Now, fortunately, that means 2 or 3 people a show. So I'm starting new conversations every day because I'm doing 5 shows a week. And that's the way it was. 6 actually, got to be honest. That's the way I actually build up my network at the moment, is through doing the live shows and then reaching out to people who've commented during the show and creating a conversation, which Facebook Messenger is the best way to do that, because you can go to your inbox on Facebook, on your page, and you've got a list of the private messages you've got to your page, but next to that is a Facebook tab, and that Facebook tab has got all the shows you've done, and you can see all the conversation during the shows. And in the old days, you'd have a like button or a reply button. Well, there's now the response button, and if you hit the response button, you as your page are actually talking to somebody who watched the show. So after the show today, not necessarily today, but possibly tomorrow, I shall be sending out messages to get in contact with people, and that's creating conversations. And the byline to that is building a network, one person at a time. And that's my take on it. What do you think?
Well, I'm all about Facebook conversations initially, because that's how Carrie and I started our friendship. Are we friends, Carrie? I don't even know. I didn't ask her if she sees me as her friend yet. but I also utilize the tools that Facebook gives us with the audio, because I think it's so important to be able to hear somebody's voice, to really be able to have that deep connection with them, because that goes back to the whole energy, chemistry, synergy thing.
Okay.
And video, like, if we're all in that live streaming circle, then we should all probably feel pretty comfortable with video. And so sometimes I throw that in, not all the time, because audio is a lot easier to do. And then the other thing is to invite people to your show and to bring their tribe with them, because it's a lot faster that way. If you can get, and I keep talking about this in text in other people's shows, but they kind of ignore it, and I'm not sure why. It's like people don't want to share their communities with each other. I don't know why this is. It's, maybe I'm off in my blab of these people, but it's, why wouldn't you, if you have a very active and engaged tribe, why wouldn't you want to entice them to come over to another community where you're meeting other people that they can network with and have more of a bigger conversation, have people get to, like, it's like virtual mixing. It's like what you would do if you were at a networking event.
I take your point. And to a certain extent, the communities that we have do have people in common. Yeah. But I don't think you'd ever get a situation, because the thing is, we all have different styles. Yeah. And the style of one community is not the same as the style of the other. And it's the sort of way that the community works may be incompatible with another community. And there's no problem at all with that. Because, as I say, there are people within the two different communities that interact with each other quite happily.
Yeah, but what if that person that you're supposed to be meeting, because that person could open doors for you, is in that other community? You may never find them.
Okay, but right. Okay. If you're going to have a network, you either have a large network or a small network. If you've got a large network, you don't have that problem, because the people that you connected to, I'm connected, as I said earlier, to 5,000 people. 500 people I've known for the last 12 years. Another 500 I met through live video that we've been doing for 2 years. And the remainder are from activities that I've been involved in, groups I've been involved in. And it all comes about naturally. Yeah. Now, if you ask me to, if I go into the Believers group, just for argument's sake, I can recognize the photographs of 200-300 people, and they're actually in my network. Yeah. Now, it's just a different approach. There's no such thing as a wrong approach. It's just a different approach. And I don't expect people to conform to my way of networking. I'm quite happy people go their own way, and we meet when we need to have interaction.
Stephen and I differ on this.
Possibly, but that doesn't mean we don't enjoy broadcasting together or respect each other. Yeah. Right. Okay. Just to catch up with the comments, and Carrie is saying voice is huge. Sorry, and Cheryl is saying great show. I need to run. My show starts soon. Funny you should say that, Cheryl. Enjoy the day. Thank you very much. That's brilliant. And Roy says bring two tribe leaders together on a live stream and allow their tribe mates to join in the seat for a comment or question, and do as many times as possible in an hour-long show. That's not a bad idea, to get people to mingle and interact. Yeah, okay, let's work on that as a project. And thank you, Jason. Jason's saying thank you to both of us. That's very good. Yeah, I think it's, if we agreed on everything, April, then life would be dull.
I know.
And if all shows were the same, life would be dull. So occasionally, it's good that we do things different and enjoy doing it. And the whole thing about live video, which I think we would both agree on, irrespective of anything else, is that live video is fun.
It is.
It's the funnest thing that's been invented. because you can actually reach out and communicate with people on a level that you couldn't do 2 years ago. And I think that's amazing.
And what did I tell you before we went live about my butterflies? I said I still get butterflies.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the excitement to actually going live, and we need that. We need that to motivate us and push us forward. And Roy's saying different is better than better. How to fascinate with Sally Hogshead. Okay, I'll take a look at that later. And Carrie has a question. I'll read it out. What tips do you have for getting people to come on live with you that have never been live or are terrified of it? Right. Okay, I'll give my shot first. If you've got somebody who's totally terrified, then you need to help them get over it, and you can't do that by just saying come live. I would have a private Facebook group, get to know them in a one-to-one on live video in the group, get them comfortable on camera, and just let them see how it feels to be on a Be Live show. Once they've got that and they're talking to you quite happily, that might take a couple of sessions, then you're ready to go out into the real world. That's my view. April.
Carrie, just send them to us. We'll work on them for you. That's my short answer. Right, Roy?
Okay. And Chuck's saying, this is circles within circles, networks within networks. I just got a chat bot from Stephen and Brigetti about his upcoming show. You did indeed, and you can see that I'm here enjoying talking to April and aware of the fact that in moments from now I'm expected in South Africa. Okay, yes, so that's the chatbots. So basically the chatbot says, I'll read what it said to Chuck. Hello Stephen, join Brigetti and Stephen as we celebrate live video. We talk about live streaming tips using Be Live TV and other fun stuff. In fact, we just enjoy chatting, especially if you can join us. And the same is true today, April. What a blast.
Yes, indeed. Well, I don't want Stephen rushing, to go catch a flight to South Africa in 8 minutes.
My only wish is that to be able to come on one of your shows, but that's 1:30 in the morning for me.
I know. Well,
late. But I could stay up. I could stay up late, but I wouldn't be in any fit shape to give any intelligible, never mind intelligent answers. Right. Okay. So we'll have to wait for the next time our calendars coincide. Carrie's saying perhaps getting people to do a FaceTime type of call would be a step in the right direction. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Great idea about private group. Carrie's done that before. Good. I'm not going to put that one up there. That's unfair because we know he is, and that's not appearing in any recording anywhere in the world. The same trick was played on the show last night, and that was Mr. Jeff Adams saying that I was an avatar. April, yeah. It's been fantastic to chat, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for everything that you do for the Be Livers group and outside the Be Livers group as well. And I wish Roy and yourself every success with the net friending community.
Thank you.
So, as I did the intro, would you kindly do the outro, Mom?
We have enjoyed having you all here, Jason and Carrie and Roy and Chuck. And there's like all these people that you don't even want to mention all their names because you might miss someone. Cheryl, thank you for being here with us today. And hopefully it won't be 6 months longer before I see you all here on Stephen's show again. But in the meantime, you all have a great weekend. We're out of here. Bye.
Bye.